Yeah, absolutely. Like I was surprised that Guillermo del Toro went this route after winning, Best Director for Shape of Water. And like, like usually after that happens, you have the opportunity to do whatever movie you want. And it's now been like what, 3-4 years since The Shape of Water. And this caught me off guard with doing a remake film. Like I definitely want to check out the original one.
Can you read minds?
Yes, I can, under the right circumstances.
What's up, YouTube? Drive-By Movies here, and you are watching
Fresh Releases.
My name is James.
Mine is Blaze.
And today we're checking out Guillermo del Toro's new film, Nightmare Alley.
You don't fool people, Stan. They fool themselves.
So the film Nightmare Alley entails an ambitious young carny with the talent for manipulating people with a few well-chosen words hooks up with a female psychiatrist who is even more dangerous than he is. So this is Guillermo del Toro's latest film. It was exclusive pretty much to theaters until I think a couple weeks ago, and then it premiered on, or I don't even know about premiered, more like showed up on Hulu as well as HBO Max, which is actually kind of a first because I don't think I can remember any film that's been on multiple streaming service just kind of randomly, and it's like a newer film that was from theaters. It's only been the 30-day window too. So, because I think this film came out on Christmas, if I'm not mistaken. But
it came out the weekend before Christmas, I believe. And yeah, then it got this release just randomly in the last week of January. And then now all of a sudden also it's getting a re-release in theaters in this new special edition black and white version. It's only in select theaters and stuff too. But I do have the opportunity to check it out that way. But I have the comfort of my own home and stuff. So of course I checked it out through HBO Max. I'm not sure if you watched it through Hulu, but it's really interesting that we got this option, and I kind of feel bad. I'm like, is this just one of these movies where Disney's like, let's just dump it and stuff, like just get as much money as we can out of it? Because I think overall it is seen as a box office failure. I think it's made for like that mid-range box office, or that mid-range like budget overall, like 50-60 million, and I don't think it made that, unfortunately. I mean, it's tough times during COVID and stuff. Omicron was getting a lot of people when it came out, but yeah, it's like a solid movie. Like Guillermo del Toro, he's not really a guy who does anything too wrong. There's movies that I'm disappointed in, I'd say. Like, he's such a likable dude. We've seen him so many times at San Diego Comic-Con, and just like, you believe everything he says. You get so excited because you see how passionate he is, but just sometimes movies just don't hit the mark that he hypes it up to be. But this movie, I think, is like very fun though. I thought, what'd you think of it, first impressions wise?
Yeah, I enjoyed this film actually a lot. I think at first it kind of like waned on me, specifically for like the second and kind of a little bit or majority of the third act kind of lost me a little bit. I felt like it definitely slowed down as we leave like the circus. And the circus is really like what brought me to the film. Like that was the stuff that I really wanted to see. I absolutely love just the idea of like the freak show or like Barnum and Bailey's circus. I just love that whole like old-timey vibe. Yeah, it's probably not the most politically correct thing, and I think this film did a good job of portraying it more along the lines of political correctness. This isn't really the same as like something like Cirque du Freak, or even one of my favorite movies, Todd Browning's Freaks. So it's just like does a little bit better of a job to kind of shy away from all that kind of stuff that could be quite sleazy, and this just does it in a really good style. But it's really at the core, it's less of like one of those circus movies, and it's really a noir movie about a con man who's constantly down on his luck, it feels like, and kind of finagles his way in certain situations to kind of one up or find maybe a better life for himself. But yeah, I honestly think, even though this movie waned for me a little at times, like the ending just really was there. This is a true noir ending. I feel like a lot of the noir films that we've kind of got, or homages to noir movies, don't have that just dark ending that is just, there is no one's gets out alive essentially ending that noir films are so notorious for having, that, I had to respect just what this film was trying to do. I think that overall it like really works as a great noir piece.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I was surprised that Guillermo del Toro went this route after winning, Best Director for Shape of Water. And usually after that happens, you have the opportunity to do whatever movie you want. And it's now been 3-4 years since The Shape of Water. And this caught me off guard with doing a remake film. I definitely want to check out the original one. And from what I've read, for the most part, it seems like this one wasn't meant to be a remake. It's just he just wanted to, update it just because they didn't have the resources to do some of the fun special effects back then that the novel kind of conveyed within it. So I know it's also based off of a novel, but that overall capturing of the time of the 1920s, I thought looked really well done within this movie. It wasn't trying too hard. Definitely the set pieces, set design, the costumes all look great. And I'm pretty sure it got nominated in all those pieces too. So it's great to see that it's being recognized despite not being a box office success. But I'm glad that Guillermo del Toro decided to do something a little bit more low key. It definitely has the ultra violence, the unnecessary violence in this movie that you wouldn't normally see in movies. But it's Del Toro. He likes things to be pretty realistic, and the color red of blood to be shown and stuff in those violent moments within this movie. And yeah, it works very well despite the long run time. It definitely could have been narrowed down a little bit, but I never once found myself bored despite it being a pretty straightforward, easygoing plot with not that much happening for the most part.
Mm-hmm. So one fun thing I think when I realized it, I was just watching this movie and I listened to Del Toro on a couple podcasts before even seeing this, talking a little bit about the movie, and they mentioned how the New Beverly was getting a special black and white cut of this movie, which you mentioned earlier that they're basically going to re-release in theaters for limited engagements. But essentially I was watching it at home and just thinking wait, nothing's stopping me from, I don't gotta wait for the black and chrome version. I could just literally turn off the contrast on my or saturation on my TV and watch it in black and white. So I did, and honestly, I have to say, you could turn anything to black and white. Obviously, it doesn't take a genius to realize you could make anything literally at home black and white. But anyways, I thought I was a little clever doing that, and then I realized this film is way it's weird. But I never did see the black and I saw bits and pieces of black and chrome, the Mad Max Fury Road, black and white. But I never really watched it all the way. And I know a lot of people say it's freaking amazing in black and white. But I feel this really felt like it was for black and white, because just noir movies are usually always, it's a black and white era. So noir movies have always pretty much been in black and white. So this really felt I don't know, it just felt amazing watching parts of it in black. I didn't watch the full thing because I felt I should probably change it back. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing watching it this way. But honestly, the pieces that I did see, I'm I think I'm gonna watch this again fully in black and white.
No, I definitely I would love to check it out in theaters too. I'm glad I had that opportunity to take pauses to use the bathroom and stuff for this watch. But yeah, I'm really bummed because the whole time I was the colors in this are very well done. They did a great job with the yellows and everything, but I don't know, just the idea of seeing modern day special effects, especially with the electric scenes with Rooney Mara, just the idea of seeing that in a black and white setting sounds really amazing to me. We haven't had that opportunity. Same thing with Mad Max, the golden or the black and white edition that came out, the silver and chrome one. I only saw clips of it. I never watched the whole thing. I just watched a trailer that someone did, and also a couple clips that people uploaded on YouTube. But it looked really awesome. But it was just a couple clips though, versus this. I really would like to see the whole movie and stuff and see how it translates. And I know that we got Mank recently, but I'd like to see this kind of seeing it in this goth noir or suspense thriller was just that sounds so much fun to me. And almost I wish some of the futuristic Universal horror films that we're getting from Blumhouse, I hope maybe they'll do a black and white edition or something like that, depending on the movie.
Mm-hmm. You're saying that Universal monster style movies that we're going to be getting essentially, or?
Yeah, it'd be cool if we got like a special edition black and white version of it, like for what we did for Nightmare Alley or Mad Max. And I mean, like maybe in the modern setting, like I know Invisible Man, that would look maybe a little bit weird because it's a modern take on it, but
I'd be interested actually to see. Now I'm thinking Invisible Man, it would be kind of cool. But I will say I felt like this. I mean, I just turned it. Like I know when the black and chrome version or silver and chrome, whatever the hell, the Mad Max one, essentially like it was super contrasty, even though it was black and white. I felt like it was like super crunchy and contrasty. This, I mean, obviously I did it myself. I didn't touch the contrast. I just touched the saturation. And I felt like the lighting, like almost stuff that just would kind of maybe go over your head sometimes was very imminent. Like the lights and shadows in this was pretty amazing. It felt like this was honestly the way that this movie should be seen. And this is just me literally turning off the saturation on my TV. So I'm interested at some later point to check out the actual like one that they put out, because that's going to be like, you know, have the right contrast and everything there.
Yeah. Performance wise, also, like I just thought, like, you know, like Bradley Cooper, it's been a while since I've seen him in a drama. I know he just came out with Licorice Pizza, and some people are saying he got snubbed not getting a supporting actor for that, like right on and stuff. But like you know, I thought he was fantastic here, like being lead role. Rooney Mara, I haven't seen her in a while, and we all know that Toni Collette can act very well too. Willem Dafoe getting all the hype from Spider-Man, but he was like, I really like the way they set up the piece. Like, I mean, pretty much this whole movie is just irony, like just from scene to scene and stuff, and just him setting up the groundwork and then seeing the final shot of the movie and just the final dialogue and how it ends and stuff. Like, it's like haunting at the time, and like, you know, it's not necessarily like predictable, but you're just like, wow, this was like well suited. Like, kind of saw this coming, but like it's like I didn't expect the journey to get here, and it's overall very satisfying.
Yeah, honestly, I think that this movie, it might not be making the rounds. At least it didn't seem like it got too many nominations, which just came out today. But I mean, Oscars here and there. I think this is a great noir film. I don't think that last year was honestly a good year for movies, as was the year before that, and that's beyond COVID. But yeah, I just feel like this, if you like classic noir films, I think that this is going to hit, you know, right close to home.
Yeah, absolutely. Be sure to definitely check it out. You can rent it through, you know, Spectrum, Amazon. Check it out through our affiliate link to help us out. But also, if you have HBO Max or Hulu, it's on there. Come back here, leave a comment, let us know what you thought about the movie.
And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and click the notification bell to get all of our latest updates.
And if you can't get enough of us here on YouTube, catch all our social media links down below with Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. That'll conclude this week's episode. Tune in next week for a brand new video.